WVTT is the news station that brings you news and information that you can depend on. We are first, fast, and accurate, bringing you the only local television news in the Twin Tiers. WVTT, depend on it.
Well, Alexa, 'twas the weekend before Christmas and snow in the forecast.
Hopefully it doesn't all melt away before the 25th, Jeff.
There we go. First, though, a dry spell during the overnight hours. Low temperature tonight, 27 degrees with mostly clear skies. Then some rain tomorrow. We'll have complete weather details straight ahead here on WVTT.
Now, WVTT.
Global News Update.
More funerals today for students killed at the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Tori Dunham joins us from Newtown with the latest on how the community is coping with this unspeakable tragedy.
Trying to find solace where there has been little recently. People in Newtown, Connecticut visit a makeshift memorial Tuesday night. Earlier in the day, tearful mourning in the second day of funerals. The latest, services for 6-year-olds James Mattioli and Jessica Ricos.
It's still not real that my little girl, who's so full of life and who wants a horse so badly and who's gonna get cowgirl boots for Christmas, isn't coming home.
Meanwhile, it was back to class for most, with the recent tragedy on students' minds.
It's a really big thing in the world right now, and how can't you think about it? Like, if it's so close to you.
The teachers union said educators will discuss Friday's mass shooting in an age-appropriate manner. Sandy Hook Elementary students have not yet returned to class. They'll be moved to another facility in a neighboring county. Administrators say they won't return to classes until January. Trucks carrying supplies have been leaving the school, which is still a crime scene. On Tuesday, the White House spoke about the possibility of President Obama supporting new legislation on weapons.
He supports and would support legislation that addresses the problem of the so-called gun show loophole.
More details have emerged on the shootings. Connecticut's medical examiner says Nancy Lanza was shot in the head 4 times as she slept, while Adam Lanza is believed to have shot himself in the head. All of this was too real for first responders who won't soon forget what they saw at Sandy Hook Elementary School.
Very early on, it was determined that this was bad, really, really bad.
So as this community tries to return to some sort of normalcy, people here are seeking solace in the small things, like through these comfort dogs that are walking around town and bringing a smile to everyone's face. In Newtown, Connecticut, I'm Tori Dunham reporting.
In India tonight, the brutal gang rape of a student on a bus has sparked outrage and protest on the streets of New Delhi. Demonstrators vented their anger outside of the official residence of the city's chief minister on Wednesday. Riot police responded with water cannons. The victim of Sunday's attack remains hospitalized in critical condition tonight. Protesters say violence against women is skyrocketing across the city, and as Sumya Udas reports, they are demanding action now.
These are scenes you rarely see in this part of New Delhi, an affluent corner of the capital, normally far removed from activism. But today, students, activists, and the general public have taken to the streets to protest a crime they say has sadly become commonplace.
We are not protesting here because the girl was raped yesterday, but we are protesting here because this is an everyday issue. My father calls me up 6 times in a day just to check where am I, and if I'm reaching back home safely.
Police say a 23-year-old medical student was raped by several men in a moving bus over the weekend. According to investigators, she and a male friend boarded the bus just after 9 in the evening when they were both brutally attacked. She was raped repeatedly. Both were then stripped and thrown off the bus. There were no other passengers on the bus, and the bus driver is among the accused.
Hundreds of Delhi students have gathered at the location where the incident took place. As you can see, they've completely blocked off traffic. This would normally be a very busy intersection in South Delhi. They're now demanding justice and saying enough is enough.
Delhi has always been notorious for its high rate of crime against women. Government figures show the capital accounted for 23% of rape cases amongst all Indian cities in 2011. But the gruesome nature of this attack has caused outrage even in Parliament.
I'm ashamed I personally feel very, very ashamed that I'm sitting in this house and I'm helpless and I'm not being able to do anything.
A survey conducted in partnership with a UN agency found 2 out of every 3 women in New Delhi have been sexually harassed up to 5 times in 1 year.
I can talk about my own experience as a student in the city, that you go by bus, somebody is pinching you, somebody is touching you, somebody is coming close to you. I mean, this is absolutely, the mentality where you just look at women's body as an object of sex and you want to just abuse.
Activists blame it on attitudes towards women, inadequate policing, and the low conviction rate for rape. In this case, the police have arrested 4 of the accused and 2 are still absconding. Theoretically, it's possible, but practically it's impossible to stop and check every truck, every bus, and every car, he says. Protesters here, though, are demanding better security and hoping the very public outcry around this brutal case will finally trigger more action. Sunima Oras, CNN, New Delhi.
President Obama says he wants to see action quickly when it comes to changes in the nation's gun control laws. The president made the comments earlier today at a news conference in the wake of the Sandy Hook Elementary School mass shooting, which rekindled a major debate on the topic. Our Karen Kaifa joins us from Washington.
While the prayer, the grief, the mourning for victims of Friday's shooting in Newtown, Connecticut continues, President Obama on Wednesday spoke of his administration crafting a new approach and action on gun policy.
It's not as if we have to start from scratch. There are a whole bunch of proposals that have been thought about, debated, but hopefully also some new ideas in terms of how we deal with this issue.
The remarks came just days after the president visited the community shattered by the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, where 20 young children and 6 adults were killed. The gunman also killed his mother and took his own life. The tragedy put the nation's gun debate back in the spotlight, and the president said Vice President Joe Biden will head a cross-agency panel to develop a comprehensive response no later than January.
This is a team that has a very specific task to pull together real reforms right now.
Attorney General Eric Holder said that input beyond law enforcement is crucial to the effort.
We have to come up with a complex set of proposals, which is why you have people who are not necessarily always thought of in the law enforcement sphere. The Secretary of Education, the head of HHS, being a part of this effort.
The president has called upon Congress to hold votes on assault weapons, high-capacity clips, and gun show loopholes to background checks in early 2013 in the hopes of curbing future tragedies. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
A down day on Wall Street. Time now for the WVTT Wall Street Wrap-Up. It's presented by News Radio 96.7 WVTT. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 99 points today, closing at 13,252. 10-point drop in the NASDAQ, closing at 3044, and an 11-point drop in the broad-based S&P 500, closing at 1436. Coming up here on the 6 o'clock report, a look at WVTT Sports. Our community calendar is straight ahead, and weather as well. All on the way. You stick around. This is News Channel 25 WVTT.